What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Not much. Uni work. I just handed in a bunch of my first section for the second year in.
Yay.
I every single time I forget how stressful that is. And yet I also know at the same time it's probably not going to be anywhere near as stressful as actual working. But Jesus.
You know what? I think uni is more stressful than actual work.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's the ultimate test. That is the peak. And then from then on, when you're qualified and you kind of a bit more confident with what you're doing, you're working at your pace, aren't you?
True. Which I'd love to be at already.
Oh, you'll be there soon.
Yeah, apart from that, mostly just focusing on uni work. One thing I've been really missing doing and has been a really big problem is do you remember when I brought my camera?
Yes.
I have done one YouTube video with that camera and I have not done a single other one since.
How come?
I just think I'm too scared to do another one.
What?
I know it sounds weird. So when I brought that camera, I also brought the Macintosh not too long afterwards with the idea that I'll do a video about that. That would be something fun to do a video about. And then there was the whole logistics of taking it to uni because I wanted to get people's opinions on it and record them doing that. And then the Macintosh broke. It doesn't boot up anymore for some reason. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure that out.
No.
Then I planned on doing a new video in the new year, like New Year's Eve, to try and transition in with talking about my phone. And I thought the video was too boring once I'd actually edited it.
So you made it.
I did make it, I just didn't publish it.
You've just got to throw them out. You've just got to throw them
I
out there.
couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm also kind of mixed on the idea of doing reviews as well. Like, so just wrote a script for a video about designing a brand that I did for uni. I've gone in depth on it and had all these details of why I designed it in that way because I wanted to test out if I could do a design based channel as well.
Okay.
But I don't know because I enjoy doing reviews. I just don't want to entirely only do reviews. I want something I can do in between those instead of chasing products because the moment I had some sort of a viewership, not a big one, but a viewership, that YouTube thing got me where I wanted to keep that going. And so I started buying more products to try and review them and then finding nothing interesting about them. So one of those things I brought, which I've been using up until yesterday, they broke, is the Kef headphones, the in-ear headphones.
Yeah, let me look these up.
They sounded really good, but for some reason recently, they one ear, I think the speaker or something or some sort of airway has been blocked and it just builds up pressure in my ear with that noise cancelling, which
Oh,
really hurts.
yeah.
And then the grid fell out on the inside. So I was like, I've owned these for about a year. That's not a good start, but
Yeah.
I've never been good with headphones. Like these have just come back from repair, my NTH 100s.
Oh, okay. That's what they are.
They're really good, except for the fact that they break in these areas, these snap lock areas. I don't know if they fixed that yet. And then I managed to stretch the cable there. I just sent them in for repair. But they've got like a lifetime warranty. It's great.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, they are they? You can't repair them yourselves. They're not kind of.
Not that easily, no. I'm looking at getting.
Who needs that? If you've got a lifetime repair.
Yeah, I mean that's great, but I'd rather not have to because last time when we were recording the episode, I had to keep wearing these headphones. I had to keep using them with one ear working because I couldn't send them back. I had to wait until afterwards to send them back. Otherwise, I wouldn't have anything to listen to us talking through.
Oh, you need a broken headphone stash. Every respectable audio person has got them.
I have it on my wall over there. I have my broken wall. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
broken
where you have to
headphones.
cable somewhere. One earphone works. I've got about four pairs. That just desperate times headphones.
I go through so many headphones. My parents are so confused with how many I go through, but I've always broken one ear and not the other. It's just a thing I do. It's probably because I do this quite often. I have one ear off.
You need a DJ pair of headphones with the swivel
Yeah, I
joint.
know. Yeah. I
Have you
think
seen the new trend of just wired headphones just coming back into style?
I never left.
You never left. Have you not got any wireless? Yeah, you've got
I've
wireless,
got
bro.
one. I've got a few. I've got three, I think, actually, which is my nothing ear stick, which was terrible. My Kef headphones I was just talking about, and then the Sony WH-6000. They had terrible names. They've done quite well for me. I am tempted on those new nothing over ear headphones. They look really nice.
The earphone market is really, really saturated right now, the wireless, especially if you're looking at, I just bought a pair yesterday for my daughter. If you're looking between 30 and £80, that was my budget. There's so much out there and actually it's quite reasonable compared to what's out there for 250.
I've been trying to find a new pair of headphones after yesterday's problem. Well, maybe not a pair of headphones, but like the in-ear ones. And I'm thinking of going back to nothing, even though I did not have a good experience with their last ones. The last headphones they gave me, they put I don't know how they did this. I actually had to take them apart to figure this out in the end. They put the driver in backwards. So they
What?
fired out to everyone else. Everyone else could hear my music clearer than I could.
What? How are they built?
I, I I figured this out by initially just putting the headphones the opposite way around and went, well, that sounds way better, but I'm listening through a tiny hole.
Yeah.
And then I took them apart and found the driver being backwards, which I was thoroughly impressed with.
Processes is that point where a human puts the driver in, maybe, and at that point that human was having an off day.
I
It
should have
just
returned those way earlier,
Yeah.
but I never got around to it and I just accepted it. Although recently, so I also brought, we can go through my shopping list, I guess, because I went for a big spending spree recently, buying new desk accessories to try and make this better. I brought myself a nice new keyboard, which sounds great. Don't know if you
That's
can
cool.
hear it.
Can I see it?
Yeah,
Is it wireless?
it is a wireless.
Oh, that is cool. Is that is that is that a Mac specific keyboard?
It's got a Mac and Windows switch on it. It can pair
Uh,
up to 4 devices on it. It's from Nuphy, Nuphy. So nice keyboard. Got brown switches in them. Quite happy with it. I did buy myself. I don't know if you heard of this company called Low Free. They're a Chinese company that makes uh, interesting looking tech. Some of their stuff looks absolutely terrible, but there was this square mouse that kind of looks like it would suit with the Macintosh itself, except it was so uncomfortable and its response rates were just terrible. And it's the first time I've actually returned a product. And from now on, now I know how to do that. I'm going to keep doing that.
you had to send it back to China, or
Yeah, it was just awful. And this keyboard took ages to get to me.
as long as are you an AliExpress person? Do you like
No,
AliExpress?
no, no. I would rather spend more money on gear that I know will last a long time and is nice to use. Like in front of me, I have the below low, which I think it just mentioned last time, desk shelf, and that was a lot of money. And I keep buying accessories for it, but it's made out of metal. It's strong. I trust that it will last a long time.
Yeah, depends for me. It depends on what the primary use of the thing is. Like in front of me now, I wouldn't buy speakers or monitors from AliExpress. I just wouldn't, because
Hmm.
they're core to my process. I need good sound. It needs to last. It needs to be robust. But then there are little things like little switches and things that I just don't really care as much about. That I'd rather spend £10 on AliExpress than go and spend £100.
That being said, my mum did get me this recently, which is a tiny little Macintosh clock that just
Well,
goes on my desk. It's great, actually.
where's that from?
So she got it from Vinted, but it is available on AliExpress. It's just bragging about what we own, apparently, now.
What other tech have you got then?
I can delve in some older tech.
Okay.
So, back when the iPod was still a thing, and I was younger, my uncle got me a fake rip-off iPod.
Plenty of those. I remember
Yeah,
those.
yeah. Now, this thing, I've got it in front of me, is absolutely tiny. And it doesn't even look like a proper iPod. But what's funny about it has survived longer than any iPod we have in the house.
That still works.
It still works. And it has been in the wash so many times. It has been damaged. It is amazing that it still works. But even the screen still boots up.
I
It's,
love the fact that the trackpad wheel is like an Apple kind of
yeah.
shape.
I recently found that as quite a gem to find again. I think we were discussing it just before, actually. And then we found it.
My favorite MP3 player I ever had before the iPod, because I think everyone loved the iPod, but the design became pretty generic after the second gen. I used to have a Sony. I've just found it. It's a Sony NW-A1000, still with their great naming conventions, Walkman. And it was a beautiful little pebble that had a black glass screen and this white these white graphics that would pop up, and it was amazing. It sounded amazing. It felt good in the hand. I only wish there was an alternative reality where that took off instead of the iPod.
Is it the circular one, did you say?
It's not circular. It's kind of like almost pebble shaped. It's called the NWA 1000 Walkman. And then after that, they kind of cut it and started putting Walkmans into their phones after that.
Oh, that is odd.
It's beautiful. Such a great product. And I wish, I just don't know what I'd done with it. I wish I still had it. I might buy another one. Sony were still, I think that's when Sony still believed in themselves and they still took bigger risks because they were innovative in the space. But now they kind of play it safe a bit more. Have you just heard what they've done with TV? Their TV
Yeah, I was
division?
just about to say that. Yeah, they got rid of their TV
Yeah.
department. It's really a shame, I think.
Sony were the kings. Well, I haven't bought any new tech. I've been moving in and out mode and just trying to establish myself in the space. The only tech I've bought is a lens. I bought another nice Chinese lens, TT Artisan 23mm fully manual lens. It's so nice shooting full manual with your aperture ring and your focus ring. Love it. Really smooth. Yeah, I've been really enjoying that lately. Obviously, you're limited to what you shoot with it, but that's the only thing I've purchased.
What did you get for Christmas?
Nothing.
Nothing? Oh, great Christmas. Yeah.
You know, I'm in a position where we had 17 people in the end at our house on Christmas who I had to buy for most of. Didn't get much back. Lots of thank yous, I guess. How about you?
For my birthday, I got a stop sign.
In actual, so I can see it there.
Yeah, it's just in the corner.
Did someone steal that for you?
No, I actually paid for it.
Oh, that's no good. Oh, it's an American stop sign. We don't have those.
Yeah. And above it is a Banksy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a Glastonbury Banksy poster.
Nice.
So I'm quite happy with that.
And I see in the background on your picture there, you've got 2 turntables.
Yes.
I don't think you had 2 turntables before.
Yeah, I did. They've been there for a while. Ever since doing the radio show, I have had the 2 turntables there, and I don't play that many vinyls. Yeah. I have them all. I've moved them all over to here recently, and I do listen to them all, but I don't play a lot on the radio show itself. I usually play more digital. You just reminded me of something. I'm a big fan of a certain game franchise, Half-Life, which I've mentioned before in the show, and I just brought their vinyls. Yeah, so they've released their soundtrack. They said they were going to release the soundtrack in 2022, and I brought the digital version of that album on Steam because they've promised to anyone who brought that album would be first on the list to get the new vinyl.
Right.
Anyway, 3 or 4 years pass, and there's no waiting list. It's just, we're releasing the vinyls. Buy them. Go.
No.
So I brought the 6-pack of vinyls and the 2-pack of vinyls. One was 120 and one was £30.
What are you doing? Okay, for stuff that you've already got in a different format.
Right. Before you say anything, this is Half-Life stuff.
Okay.
1, I'm nerdy. I'm happy with having Half-Life stuff. I mean, I have a crowbar over there, which is also from the game. 2, the price value of these things will skyrocket at some point.
You hope.
I hope, yeah. Well, everything else that has come from Valve in this way suddenly skyrockets at some point. I mean, they sold a plushy head crab, which is going to sound absolutely confusing to anyone who's never played the game.
Me.
And this thing is now like 60 to 70 quid, and it was like a £5 at the time. Or the book that they did, Raising the Bar, which was maybe 20, 30, 40 pounds, is now in the hundreds to £200.
Real fan base are really supportive of the brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they don't release that much. Yeah, definitely obsessed. For the last 3 years, since you've known me, we've been hosting on Substack, which is a RSS feed platform that just provides news.
Yeah.
And when I joined up for the platform, it was this nice place that most people just posted up whatever they want. Over a period of time, it's become more cluttered with things I don't want. They added a whole social media aspect to it, which wasn't there at the beginning. They have pushed for a Apple... No, I don't think it's an Apple TV thing, but they have a TV thing on Samsung. So you can now watch their content on it, which all seems like huge bonuses. But the one thing they've never been really good at supporting is podcasting. They have a basic thing, but I've had to find my way around adding photos in for the covers or extra bit of information. Chapters initially didn't work, and I'm a big user of those. Those have to be a thing that we add in. Maybe towards the beginning, I started adding photo-based chapters, like it would change the look of the podcast while you're listening to it. And that never updated. I haven't checked if that has since we changed system, which I'll get around to in a bit. Substack, great platform for anyone who needs to just set up a news feed with some caveats. Not perfect for what we need to use them for. But the reason why I swapped to that system was entirely because they were the only ones that I could find, and probably someone out there can disprove me on this, that supported multiple RSS feeds for podcasting from one place. That was an important thing, because when I used Spotify initially, or I think I used Podbean or whatever it was called at first, they only let you do one podcast per account. I imagine that's all changed now.
For free or with a subscription?
For free. Yeah, I imagine that's entirely changed because we have such a high demand for podcasts now, which has made it so difficult to make this popular. That being said, the system we have swapped to is Patreon. Patreon.
I thought Patreon was just what people use to fund things. And by just not...
That's what's become a slight problem. This is why I'm talking about it here. Patreon, in other people's eyes, is a platform for bonus content.
Yeah.
For us, it is the distribution of our content. This is a thing that is very possible. I've seen other podcasters do it. I got the idea from Morning Somewhere, which was an American podcast run by Bernie Burns, who was one of the founders of Rooster Teeth, but left and now brought it back, and Regulation Pod. They're both Rooster Teeth related stuff. These podcasts, well, one of them used to be hosted directly from Patreon.
I'm really confused because I'm looking at Patreon now and I still don't understand it. So tell me more.
So the reason why we swapped to Patreon, one reason is that I found when working with other co-hosts that they would find it hard to publish the episodes on Substack. I'd set up a system and then that system would be ruined. I even did a video about how to use Substack and it just wasn't going well. With Patreon, it should be a hell of a lot easier. It literally is drag and drop the audio into the spot and type below. There's a few more things that would have had to have happened with Substack specifically. With this way, we can also have paid tiers. Again, possible with Substack, but not exactly what we were looking for. This way, we can make it so in the future, we could say only people who pay for a functions post show can get that access to that show.
And they can do that like via their normal places like Spotify or whatnot. Okay.
The other thing is that really sold me on the idea is the fact that I really hate this whole division at the moment of all these social media platforms. I hate it and I don't. Personally, I think it's great. I like the idea that we're having all these different competitors. But practically on the advertising side of things, it is terrible. It means I have to place a bit of content on every single platform possible to try and grab one person's attention. Mm-hmm. They have a feed on Patreon that means I could put out polls every so often or ask questions to people who either pay for it or not pay for it. So that could be very useful, or I can just post up to it and people can comment on it.
For the end user, what's the difference?
So for anyone who just listens to the RSS feed, anyone who's listening to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Pocket Cast, which recently updated itself, any of those platforms, practically no change. You will still be getting the same RSS feed. Nothing will change at all. On the Patreon side of things, we do not have a paid for tier currently. Not planning on one for a while. So if you sign up, you just get access to the content before all the other platforms get it. Not by much, about maybe 30 minutes before, if that matters to you, then it's available. But at the same time, you will also be able to get news about how we're going to be changing stuff, what's happening, the new shows coming out. This will all kind of go to social media, but if you want one centralized place, Patreon should be the place to go to. I would encourage anyone who's listening to this to make a Patreon account or head over there, because currently it's not gone well. Everyone has the thought of, oh no, he wants us to pay for it. I won't sign up for it at all.
Oh no.
Currently on Patreon, we have one person who's following the feed, but I can tell that people are still following the RSS feeds. That is the one benefit of Substack. Substack had very detailed graphs. I could see how many people were listening to our content and where. The only way I can now find out is by going to those platforms currently. I believe Patreon is working on this. I can see how many people have subscribed to the feed, but I cannot see how many downloads they've got. And that's more important information to me. For example, with our last show, we got 1,600 downloads.
Okay.
And with the last screen-free show, I think it was around about 700 downloads. And yet on YouTube, more views, I think. It gets confusing. I kind of want this view to come back. I need to invite you to it as well at some point, but I know you...
Oh, you know, I'm going to be all over that.
Yeah, I know.
I just took a picture of us because I just realised I've just been on this training. I'm currently part of this BBC Pathways. I got selected for one of their big annual projects, and they were like, "You are not posting all the things you do. I'm rubbish. I don't post anything." And they're like, "Well, that's part of your problem, is that you know everything you do and no one else does." I was thinking, is that true? And they showed some examples of people at BBC, like the producers, and they post everything. Like they'll go on LinkedIn and say, "Oh, I produced this show today, created this, I don't know, this segment, and then wrote this script," and like they get loads of interaction. I do that every single day and never post it. And they were like, "Just everything you're doing that you take for granted, post it on LinkedIn, not social media, LinkedIn, because the people on the outside of the BBC are connected to our network, and they'll see what you do." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm going to post this today. I'm going to say, "Oh, working on co-hosting with Mac Blackman on the Functions podcast."
I second this. 100% second this. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, post. Go ahead.
Are you on LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah. I'm on LinkedIn, yeah. Actually, recently, that brand design I was talking about making a video of, my lecturer posted me presenting it to... Oh, actually, okay, here's a funny story. So there's this company that comes in... Oh, the founder of this company comes in, called Sean, and the company's called North. North is a design agency in the UK that does stuff both in the UK and outside of the UK, branding-wise. They've designed some really famous designs, and they come in to criticize our work and... Critique, yeah, not criticize, that sounds wrong. And kind of give us advice on how it should go and areas they do and don't like. And fascinating. I really enjoyed the talk. Yeah. And in that talk, I'm showing my design away, which is based on punch cards. I'll show you it later, or you can check my Instagram. It's on there as well. And I have a photo of the Tate logo. Now, you know the Tate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the museum gallery. Yeah, gallery in the UK. Quite famous. They have Tate Modern and they just have the Tate. I showed this to the guy, Sean, and he says that's not the Tate logo. And I go, I'm pretty certain that's the Tate logo. I'm certain of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, about 2 hours later, he does a presentation, and he has designed the Barbican logo, the Co-op logo, and the Tate logo. He designed the Tate, and I just told the guy who designed the Tate that he didn't understand the Tate logo.
Wow. That's brilliant.
I was mortified once I'd realised what I'd done.
Well done. That's interesting that the person who done the Co-op logo done the Tate logo as well, which wouldn't, and the Barbican.
Yeah, did quite a lot more famous logos, but I can't think of them at the top of my mind. Oh, the Science Museum as well. Did the Science Museum branding. So very famous design group.
I don't know what the Barbican logo looks like. I graduated. That's where my graduation was. Let me have a look at that logo.
It's just text for the most part.
Okay.
But it's nicely designed text.
So what did you show him that was the Tate logo that's different? Because I'm looking at the Tate logo. That's what I recognize as the Tate logo.
The important thing about the Tate logo is it's focused on being animated. So one of the things that I had shared was one of the frames of the animation, not actually the animation itself. I had just copied it from the internet. Actually, I think Pinterest or Cosmos, one of those platforms, to reference for mood board design. I had no intention of using it in any sort of final showing of my work, but it happened to be there. And yeah, it was just one of the frames of the animation instead of being the main logo itself, which I didn't know there was a difference on.
And you got the absolute expert to school you in front of everybody.
Yeah. Also, one thing I got to mention, maybe a bit out of order, but I was planning on doing a video about the whole rebrand design of Wonky, but I haven't finished the rebrand design, so that's going to be moved to a bit later as well. So that's what's happened with all the videos. I had them all planned, and something gets in the way. I don't like it, or I have to delay it. Not fun.
I'm currently uploading you to LinkedIn.
Mid podcast recording.
Mid podcast. Yep, I'm not telling any lies on my LinkedIn. I'm currently recording a podcast episode.
I mean, if you want to share some great episodes in the past, there's a whole 24 of them? No, how many podcast episodes are we?
I'm going to call this episode 24.
No, this is episode 29.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I know. Is that true? Cannot believe if we're on 29. Maybe my production calendar's wrong. Let me double check. No, we are on 29. Jesus. We're only 21 episodes away from 50, if my maths are right.
Cool. Shall I put a link? I don't think you can put links on here, can you?
On LinkedIn? It's called LinkedIn.
I know, but is it called LinkedIn for that? Let's have a check. Right, I'm going to sidetrack the podcast even more.
Oh, okay. This is the sidetrack episode.
Tech rant.
A tech rant?
Kind of.
We don't do those here.
This week, my wife took my lovely Tesla, which is showing its age a bit now because of all the new updates, parked it on a road that I wouldn't park it on, and it got hit, reversed into by a BMW. Of course, the cameras caught it all in action. The alarm went off on my phone and on my wife's phone, and she ran outside, caught the guy, didn't catch him, he wasn't running, but confronted the guy. And the guy tells her, there's some damage on the bumper, right? He doesn't hit it hard, he's reversing to get out, but he's damaged the bumper. And the guy tells her, well, I reversed into you, but I didn't cause that damage on the bumper. I just tapped the number plate. So she's like, I don't know if it was because it was a man or she was in a rush, but she kind of just said, okay, that's fine, let me take your number and I'll leave it. So I called him later on and said, look, you've damaged the nose of the car is dented. I've got a camera that I added to the car, and the camera is damaged as well, the front camera. The bracket's broken or whatever. But with tech, I went and got a quote, and to get that bumper fixed, however minor that looks, right, it's like a little ding, is going to be between £800 and £1,500, just because of the car, I don't know, or the parts or whatever they need, is absolutely ridiculous. And I remember my first car, I used to pop the dents out myself with a little dent popper. I used to take them to get sanded down. There'd be no more than £100. So I don't advise anyone to get these new cars anymore, because one little bump and you're spending over £1,000. Luckily for me, he's going to pay for it for his insurance. But again, I sent the pictures to the insurance and they were like, where's the damage? Because you can hardly see that damage, and it should be, £50 fix. We'll see if they pay out.
Your perfect Tesla's causing problems.
It is. Do you know, if he would have hit my headlamp, because I was looking at parts and whatnot, it would have cost £2,000 nearly to replace.
Really?
That's for the part and putting it back in. Yeah. The part was like 1,100-1,200 quid, something like that, for a new light.
Jesus.
Apparently that's quite reasonable compared to some higher end Audis.
Wow.
These lights, so the lights now are built to, the bulbs are built to last the lifetime of the car, so you shouldn't need to change them. But
True.
Of course that doesn't account for damage to the light bulbs. What happens to Halfords going and buying a little kit for £4 and sticking the bulbs in yourself?
To be fair, we've kind of gone towards a culture. Doesn't really replace parts of tech, just the tech itself. We don't. That's just a thing we don't do anymore for some reason. So maybe that kind of culture has moved along to cars. I mean, that'd be very odd.
It absolutely has. Yeah, it's not a fix it culture, it's a replace it culture now.
Which isn't great.
Yeah.
Talking of your Tesla, though, I got to ask. I've heard news of the Grok AI coming to Tesla cars. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I've watched some of the videos from the American users. I think it's interesting, isn't it? It's pretty pointless, really, because if you've got Apple CarPlay, you can talk to an AI whilst you're driving, or Android. What makes it different is when it starts to control the car more. It only controls the maps at the moment, so you can
Hmm.
talk to it, get me to London, but pass by the coffee shop on the way. But when you can start telling it, I'll set my temperature to 20 degrees and open the back door or something like that, it becomes really useful.
What worries me more though is one, there's this whole thing of the virtual AI assistant possibly looking not great.
Yeah.
Is one of the things I've heard. And the other thing is, you don't really want to be asking it a question and then one of its being responses being racist, sexist, or homophobic, which is kind of the thing that Grok is now known for.
Yeah. The mode, like the extreme, I don't know what they call it, but there's a top tier mode that you have to be 18 and above to activate.
Yeah,
If you need that in a car, it probably becomes more of a distraction.
agreed. I don't think it should be there at all, personally.
My car's not new enough to get it anyway. So I'm on the old Intel processor, so I don't get that.
Oh, I didn't know they were Intel processors.
They're not anymore.
Are they AMD now?
AMD now. So I got the last Intel model, and then from 21 they moved to AMD. And so all of the new hardware 4 they call it, is a lot faster, a lot better, can do more. That's why they can do the AI driving so well now.
I wonder if they'll swap back to Intel soon with that
Well,
whole America first thing. Because AMD's not.
where is that? Is it Japanese or something?
I actually don't know. Maybe it is American. No, I no idea where AMD is actually. I just know that China. It's not China. Intel is one of those companies that the US is really trying to push at the moment and giving it funding and stuff like that just to stay afloat.
AMD is California.
Oh, so they're both American. Never mind then. Do you want to talk some Apple news?
Oh, let's do it. Why not?
So, probably the biggest thing that we should definitely talk about is the announcement of Apple Creative Studio. I was in the middle of a lesson when that got announced, I think. Oh no, I was at home, but I was very much paying attention to it. I was interested in it, but not getting my hopes up. And I'm very glad I didn't because it's not much of anything, in my opinion, this update.
Okay. What don't you like about it?
I do not like the new icons for any of them. That really bothers me. I do not find that they communicate what they are at all. Especially, so I already struggle with Logic Pro and Final Cut. For some reason, those two are always flipped over in my brain.
It's like a platinum plaque, isn't it, Logic Pro?
But now they've got rid of the plaque, which I don't know why. I actually thought that looked really nice. And they've made it this, what I can only explain as kind of a DJ turntable graphic of some sort. Because it looks like it's in motion by spinning. I have to get up the icons myself because they just don't look great. None of them communicate anything. Like when they first were announced, I remember seeing a lot of posts taking the mick out of them.
I'd be interested to see if there's any. I mean, I'm looking at the logos now. I don't mind them, to be honest. I'd be interested to see the new compressor because I don't use the Final Cut Pro suite anymore, and I used to. And I used to struggle with compressor because it just didn't really work with many different codecs, and it was just a bit pointless.
That is the thing, though. Nothing's changed.
Right. Okay.
Practically nothing's changed. All I've got access to right now is the free stuff. So the new Pages and Keynote, and they're exactly the same. They just have a paywall thing where you can add in AI features. That seems
Yeah.
to be what the paywall is for the majority of their stuff. Compressor, I don't think has changed at all. Motion, I don't think has changed at all. They're just included in the subscription now.
They got main stage, Logic.
I think the one that annoys me the most, actually, though, is Pixelmator Pro. Because their
Yeah.
icon doesn't make any sense, in my opinion. How does that make any sense to what it
It's
is?
like a node with a handle on it, right? And some rectangle.
It doesn't make any sense. To me, that's closer to planning development app or web development app. That is not a drawing or illustration app at all, which
Yeah.
is what Pixelmator Pro is known for.
Pages icon should be the Pixelmator Pro icon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the pages could be like a keyboard cap or something. I don't know. Something
Or
like that.
here's a mind-blowing thing: a page.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's called
They need
Pages.
to, they need to come and hire Mac, please. Come and get him.
Well, the original app was a pen on a piece of paper, and we just drifted more and more away from the paper. We're just a
Yeah,
floating pen now.
with a bit of paper underneath.
That's
Yeah,
not a bit of paper. That could be a table.
I have tested Logic Pro. Logic Pro update really excited me. Actually, is a real update. There was skepticism amongst the community that I'm still loosely hanging on to, whether this was going to be a paid update for those of us that have purchased Logic Pro. You know, I purchased Logic Pro back in 2013 when it first came out, Logic 10, and obviously I'd purchased the versions before that. And the way it was before that, I owned Logic 5.5 and Logic 6, and both times I had to pay the £400-500 to get the software. So we were worried because they've been quite generous. Like realistically, if you've got any other door, you're
Yeah.
paying every update. So it's been 13 or 12 years on one version. No up, all updates are free. It was free again.
I'm happy about that, personally. That gives me hope.
They didn't make us go to a subscription to get the new version. I can carry on as normal. I've just checked my icon. I've got the original icon. I don't get that Logic Pro icon. And you get the AI features are included. So there's no paywall. And the AI features are actually really cool. They've got new players. So Logic started this player's journey maybe 7 or 8 years ago where they got real people in, session musicians, and started having kind of pieces that you could manipulate with MIDI. Now it's a lot based on AI. So they've copied real players' tendencies, made them into AI, and you can pretty much build anything you want. There's a new bass player. There's loads of new sounds. For me, it's just like a Christmas present that I never asked for. It's great.
I'm very happy that they've done that. It would have really worried me if they didn't update that at all, because you would have had that problem of, okay, does that mean that they're not going to support it in the future? Is it just going to be subscription based?
Yeah.
I think that for any student or anyone who can't afford the full software, this is a really good approach to do, is pay that subscription,
Very
because
clever.
it's £400 or £500 for the actual OS, or not the OS, the application. You are going to be getting your money's worth for quite a long time, especially on the student discount of, I think it's like £4-5 a month. So that's great. But I really do hope they keep that paid for version that you pay once around. We do not want another Adobe. Please don't
No.
make another Adobe.
And Apple don't need to do another Adobe because their cash flow situation is different, right? And
Mm.
they're different. The model is drip feed, get you into the Mac ecosystem, get you stuck. Keep the professional world Mac in these areas. That's what they want to do. And now we can introduce students and people who are just getting into this particular segment. They can afford it. And what will happen is the person who uses Logic Pro will pay for this for 2 years and then just buy Logic Pro. And they'll be in Logic Pro. And I think that's what they want. The thing that confuses me is the keynote pages and numbers thing.
Yeah,
They don't have any business being in this bundle.
nobody thinks of Pages, Numbers, or Keynote as Creator Pro things. Those are entirely different. Those were chucked in just to,
Sweeten the deal.
they're all sweeten the deal. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. If I was in charge of this new rebrand, first thing I would do is kick them back out. Just go, right, those are the Office Suite ones. They can have their own one. Can't call them Office Suite, obviously, because Microsoft, but that as an example, they have their own area. And for those people who really need to crunch numbers or write documents, then yeah, go for it. If you're going to make Pages or Keynote an important app for creators, the first thing I would do is merge them together and make an InDesign like application out of them. That makes way more sense than what you've done, Apple, with this whole thing.
Yeah. Here's something though, thinking about the package. I'm a video wise, I'm a DaVinci user. I used to use Final Cut when it was Final Cut 7. And I think when they first jumped to X. And I've always been curious because I see a lot of good things going on over there. I see and hear a lot of good things. I can pay a tenner or a fiver, wherever it is, and try that for a month. There may be people who do that and eventually jump ship because now it's completely accessible. It's not a 5-day trial. They might get some more users that way.
I haven't given it a try yet, but I might sign up for the subscription entirely just to try editing maybe an episode like this on Logic Pro. I don't know if it includes iPads or something like that though, because there is one feature that I really want to try, which is that whole multicam hosting from an iPad, which still to this day, according to their documentation, I haven't tried it, but according to their documentation, isn't on the Mac. How?
The subscription covers you for iOS, any device you've got across your Apple ID, so you can use it on iPad.
Then that would be a cheaper way of doing that. But oh no, it's still a subscription anyway. It's confusing. You'd get more for that deal, but here's another thing though. Apple has announced as of yesterday, no, day before, that we have an Apple event coming up, March 4th.
Okay, cool.
Where predictions are that we're going to get a new 17E, a MacBook OLED, iPad, iPad Air, and a HomePod. Those are the predictions I've been reading around. So it's a big update update release.
It's OLED. I've just seen the invite. It's OLED. That screams OLED to me.
That screams OLED? Really?
Yeah. Yep. Looking at that, they're trying to tell us that's OLED.
I saw people say, and I think they were just taking the mic, that it's the Vision Air.
Oh, that's cool. That's exciting, right? We don't normally get... I remember getting a March event back in the iPad days, I believe, years ago.
It feels too early, but what I'm guessing is because we were expecting one around October-ish. They had to delay it or they changed their mind, and this is what they were going to announce in October.
Well, I'm in the market for a new MacBook, so if they bring out the new Pro M5s, I'll have to consider buying a Pro M4.
The only the only thing that worries me about it though is there is this big thing in the Windows laptop users that they love a touchscreen.
Yeah.
I do not want a touchscreen, and they're bringing that to the to the Mac.
Do you think?
Yeah, that's what the rumors are. I would much rather that be a paid extra thing than something included in that puts that price up. I don't need it. That OLED, yes, I'll take that. That would be way better for watching Apple TV on my MacBook. But I don't need a touchscreen. No thanks.
Just my screen as we talk, and that just feels wrong.
I can see. I don't understand it. The ergonomics of that is just wrong. It's just gonna hurt. If you spend all your time tapping the screen, I guess it's for smaller movements, just tapping every so often. But I don't need to do that often.
However, when I do turn my Mac around sometimes, and if I'm showing someone something, the amount of times people touch the screen, they do expect it to be a touch screen, like to stop it or to rewind it or whatever.
I've had to stop myself recently. Quite a lot of people, when you show them a design of something, they often will just poke it or touch the screen. I hate it. Yeah. I hate it when people touch my screen because it's an Apple screen. I've got to clean it now. Compared to, like, I can touch this monitor in front of me as much as I like. Apple screens, that fingerprint will be there for months.
Yeah, I've got fingerprints from 2022 on here. I can see them.
That does annoy me about Apple. If they could figure out how to fix that problem, would be nice. Did you see the announcement a couple of days ago from Apple?
From Apple? No.
No. Video podcasts.
What do you mean by that?
They're coming to Apple Podcasts.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm excited about this because there is only one podcast I listen to that is a video podcast, and it's MKBHD's one, which is called Waveform. And the amount of times that I will go off a platform, my platform of choice being Pocket Cast, and go on YouTube and find where I was at, it happens a lot. If this could be fixed with Apple Podcast, I might swap back. I don't know. The only thing, I really like the analytics that Pocket Cast give me. So it might not bring me over there, but at the same time, it's tempting.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
They've put there's been this big push for Apple Podcasts recently, where they've been giving it more funding. They've got Apple Podcasting Studios now. I mean, have you looked at their radio studios or anything like this? They're insane.
I applied for a job there.
Oh, I'd love to do that job.
Yeah, the studios are amazing.
I don't understand. Like, who designed the microphone arms for that place? They're so weird looking.
Oh, I don't think I've looked at those.
They're really weird. And the microphones themselves. I recognize them, but I don't know where from. Everything is weird about that setup. Not in a bad way. They just look weird.
Yeah, those arms. Yeah, they're quite cool. They're using a Neumann. They're using the same mics they use at Radio 1. So they're the Neumann. What's the model number? I can find out. I should know this really. Is it 87 or something? U87. U87. That's what they use.
U87. I've been looking at going Neumann with my mics, but they're so expensive.
When I went to Radio 1 Extra, that they were using, they had 4 Neumann U87s as their microphones for radio, which is super overkill and very expensive. But yeah, Apple are obviously just following that blueprint. They're about 2.5 grand a mic. That's all.